Say hello.
Hi everybody. Whoa, here we are. You know, I'm really excited to be here with you out there and with you in here. And before I play a note, I just really want to step aside here and show you this beautiful piece of art that's behind me that they made here at the Wildlife Hub. This is our beautiful Yuba River, and where we live is truly that beautiful. And where we are here tonight is equally beautiful. I've played here a few times, maybe I think 5 times, and usually it's a room full of people. Tonight there's 2 people here, and the rest of you are out there. It's pretty exciting to be doing this, very different. And I really want to thank Beth and David for the courageous act of having the Wildlife Hub. They bought this building and turned it into what it is now, and it's just a phenomenal place. So I think they've done real good. I know they've done real good. And with that said,
I'm going to cut in. Hey, Nory.
Hey, Beth.
I wanted to share that that beautiful screen behind you was made by the Curious Forge Makerspace. Yes, and we're so happy to have it there, and thanks for pointing it out. It's our wonderful backdrop here. So, and I don't want to step on your deal, but I will let you know tonight as people have any comments or anything. And I'll be posting shortly, I'll share it on your page and various other places, and I'll be posting shortly where people can tip if they want.
Excellent.
To tip you. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And yeah, you know, I want to say about the Curious Forge too, because I know the place well, and it's just one of those places where if you have an art and a talent and a skill and you want to make stuff, they have all the tools and all the equipment there to do it. So, and they put together beautiful stuff. They too have done real good. I never had the lust for money, ambition for a mansion or a yacht. I never aimed to claim the millions or the fame. Oh, I done real good at that. Yeah, I done real good at that. I never sought the road from rags to riches in Gucci's or a big old Cadillac. Sandals in the dirt, a comfortable old shirt. I done real good at that, yeah. I done real good at that. Scrambling on that economic ladder, up and down at someone else's whim. Work that makes no sense, for meager recompense. It goes around and up and down again. Scrambling on that economic ladder, eating, sleeping, living by a clock. Sunshine calls to me, I gotta set my spirit free. I'm off again, whistling on a walk. I never dreamt of making me a killing. I only need enough to live my life. An honest loaf of bread, a roof over my head, yeah. I done real good at that. I done real good at that, yeah. I done real good at that. Oh, I done real honest loaf of bread, a roof over my head, sandals in the dirt, a comfortable old shirt.
Yay!
Whoopee! All right.
Paul Cienfuegos says hello from Portland, Oregon, and he loves you.
Hey, Paul. How sweet to hear from you, brother.
And he asked if the sound could be turned up a little, and I did, so hopefully he'll let us know if it's better now. And hi, Nory, from Jake and Deb. Jacobson.
Yeah. Hello, hello. It's just wonderful to hear you and to be here playing for you. So I'm going to play a song now written by Tim O'Brien. And in these difficult times that we are all going through around the world, I think that this song has the answer to all of life's problems. That's a big statement, I know, but that's just the way it is. That's how I think about this song. It's called Get Out There. I'm not going to tell you. Why don't you do it in a circle, do it in a square, in your tux or in your underwear? Nobody's watching, nobody cares, just get out there and dance. You can do it with your feet, you can do it with your hands, do it to a record, you can do it to a band. What part of boogie don't you understand? Just get out there and dance. You gotta get out there, get in the groove, let things loose, let everything move. Your head starts bopping, your toes start tapping, your hands start clapping, anything can happen. So do it in the morning or in the afternoon, underneath the chandelier or underneath the moon. If you need music, go hum yourself a tune. Just get out there and dance. Yeah, you can do it to a polka, you can do it to a waltz, do it in a line to some guy shouting calls. If you're not having fun, it's your own damn fault. Just get out there and dance. Yeah. So step it to the left, step it to the right, shimmy with your shoulders and your hips all night. As long as you're doing it right. Just get out there and dance. You gotta get out there, get in the groove, let things loose, let everything move. Your head starts bopping, your toes start tapping, your hands start clapping. Now anything can happen. So learn from Arthur Murray or Dancing with the Stars. Learn from Fred Astaire. You can learn from Ginger Rogers. You can learn it from the youngsters or learn it from old codgers. Just get out there and dance. Yeah, just get out there and dance. Woo! Get out there and dance. Why don't you? Yeah, that's the way to do it. So yeah, I just want to say a bunch of stuff, but then again I feel like, nah, just play it. This next song is one I wrote. You know how we're always going through stuff trying to improve our lives. You know, we're gonna quit doing this and New Year's resolutions, and you know, if I give up tortilla chips, I'm just gonna have, you know, lose my weight and stop drinking beer. I'm going to stop this and stop that. And then you just come to that place, you know, where it's just like, Anyway, this song's called Easy to Please. I gave up cigarettes, I gave up booze, I gave up television and the evening news. I gave up marijuana, lattes and la-ti-da, hot tubs and cedar saunas and all those fitness spas. I gave up sprouts and granola and thick, juicy steaks. I gave up coffee, but that just didn't take no. I gave up on running around, I gave up on settling down. Everywhere I turned, I found the same old heartache. Just trying to be a better man, doing what I can to make it through this life. I don't want to hurt nobody. Where can I lend a hand? I don't want to cause no strife, no. Oh, doobie doobie da da, doobie da da, doobie doobie da da da, doobie doobie da da, doobie da da da, la da da. Ooh, I gave up on Democrats. I never liked those other cats. I quit racing with the rats. I can't keep that pace. I don't shop on Main Street. I don't trade on Wall Street. Facebook and Twitter tweets just ain't my place. I gave up on gurus. I gave up on tofu. I've learned to reuse and leave no trace. Just trying to be a better man, doing what I can to make it through this life. I don't want to hurt nobody. Where can I lend a hand? I don't want to cause no strife, no. Oh, doobie doobie da da, doobie da da, doobie doobie da 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 da, doobie doobie da da, doobie da 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 da. I gave up on giving up, now I'm finally free. I gave up trying to be anybody but me. I love my cream and sugar, it keeps me sweet. I'm finding I'm so very easy to please. I gave up on giving up, now I'm finally free. I gave up trying to be anybody but me. I love my cream and sugar, it keeps me sweet. I'm finding I'm so very easy to please.
Okay, real quick, hellos from Robin Voigt and Scott Peterson.
Wow.
And Susan Alves says your BHS class of 66 is watching and enjoying. Ray Beerbaum says class of 67 also.
Nice.
Monica Meyer says fun. And Chris and Diane Lastinger, knock 'em dead Corundo boy.
Oh my God.
You got 33 people tuned in right now. And Sands Hall says hello, sounds lovely.
Hello, Sands. Hello, everybody from Corundum. Hello, Balboa High School.
And Ada Shea. Hi, Nory, from your favorite Corundu neighbor, Ada Beechner.
Oh my God. Ada.
Yay.
Oh my God. I think I was 6 years old and had a real heartthrob for Ada Beechner.
Cool.
Okay, wow.
And I posted it, but if anybody has trouble getting the link, let me know. I put it in a few different places, and Eda found it, so that's good. Robin and Janae, I say hello to. Robin Voigt wants to know if you wrote that last song. She loved it.
I did. I wrote the first one, I wrote that last one. I wrote Done Real Good, and I wrote Easy to Please.
Excellent. And Jim Fussell says, hey, Nory, a bunch of your Fussell cousins are all here.
You know, getting ready for this thing, I really put the word out because
good.
I usually play here for people live in the room, and I love playing for live people. And this, I just thought about how am I going to play for people that I can't see, but because I know them and I just really feel connected. I totally feel connected to each and every one of you. I'm so thrilled to be doing this, and that those of you who live far away get to hear some of what I do. I could make all kinds of excuses for my manual dexterity and all that kind of stuff, but, you know, as my good friend Utah Phillips said, you know, turn to the person next to you that came with you and says, this is what you get. What you see is what you get. There's more to that story, but I do want to talk about Utah here because the next song I'm going to do is one of his. I met this man about 18 years ago as we were forming the Peace Center of Nevada County. I knew he was a folk singer. I knew he was a songwriter and a poet. I knew a lot of things about him, but I had never really connected. And I played some of my tunes for him one day, and he said, you've got to put those songs out in the world. Each of those songs has work to do, and you got to put them out there so that they can do their work in the world. And that stuck with me in many ways. And lately, in this time of quarantine, I've really been thinking a lot about that and saying to anybody who has any kind of endeavor, art, poetry, painting, sculpture, music, anything, the world needs it now. And now's not the time to be quiet. Art is planetary medicine. And it just doesn't get any more powerful than that for me. So this song is called The Goodnight Lovin' Trail. It's about a cattle drive that went from Texas to Colorado. Colonel Charles Goodnight was a money guy. Oliver Loving was the wrangler, the horse guy. And it's a song about what happens when you get too old to do your work anymore, and how you might have to be a little bit, rely on your other skills. So this is a song about a cowboy who gets too old to ride anymore, but he decides he's good with herbs and spices and things, and he becomes the cook in the chuck wagon, which was invented by Colonel Charles Goodnight, Charles Chuck, the chuck wagon. Oh. So you'll hear a reference to the old woman in the song, and that's what the cowboys would call the cook, the old woman. And you'll hear a reference to the French harp. That's that. And the Goodnight Lovin' Trail. To wrangle or ride on the swing, you beat the triangle and you curse everything. If dirt was a kingdom you'd be the king. On the good night trail, on the loving trail, our old woman's lonesome tonight. Your French heart moans like a lone bawling calf. It's a wonder the wind don't tear off your skin. Get in there and blow out the light. With your snake, all your herbs, and your liniments too, you can do anything that a doctor can do, except find a cure for your own goddamn stew. On the good night trail, on the loving trail, our old woman's lonesome tonight. Your French heart moans like a lone bawling calf. It's a wonder the wind don't tear off your skin. Get in there and blow out the light. Now the cook fire's out and the coffee's all gone. The boys are all up and they're wrestling the dawn. You're sitting there all lost in a song. On the good night trail, on the loving trail, our old woman's lonesome tonight. Your French heart moans like a lone bawling calf. It's a wonder the wind don't tear off your skin. Get in there and blow out the light. One day I know I'll be just the same, wearing an apron instead of a name. No one can change it, nobody's to blame. 'Cause the desert's a book, wrote in lizards and sage. It's easy to look like an old worn out page, all faded, all cracked with the colors of age. On the good night trail, on the loving trail, our old woman lonesome tonight. Your French heart moans like a lone bawling calf. It's a wonder the wind don't tear off your skin now. Get in there and blow out the light.
Yay! That's a lot of clapping for 3 people.
I know. I know.
What can I say? I'm good at clapping.
That,
Oh my goodness.
that song is.
A sweet song.
Thank you, Utah. Thank you for
Yeah.
that song. That's cowboy poetry.
Paul Pierce says, checking in, Uncle Norris. Loving getting to see you play from across the country. And Chad says, Daddy-o, nice to see you up on the stage again. You look great, Dad.
Wow.
And Angela Pierce says, we love you, Nory, from Angie and Michael Pierce.
Oh my God.
Michael Malden, yay, Nory, love it. And Jack Cat, hey, Nory. I know, it's that way. Deborah Kiva sends all kinds of beautiful symbols that mean wonderful things.
Jack Cat?
Yeah.
Yeah, Deb Kiva, she texts a lot of symbols and emojis, and she's fun.
Music notes, heart, smiley face. It says it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, Deb Kiva and Keith Malley and I are the Hummingbird Choir.
Yeah.
And we go to the senior homes where people have Alzheimer's, and we play our little tunes, and we play some of the old stuff, and we play some, but we have a lot of fun doing that. We haven't been able to do it now for a month and a half.
Yeah.
But tomorrow we're going to go to one of these places, and we're going to stand outside in the grass.
Nice.
And they're going to open the windows, and these folks who know us, I mean, they do remember us. It's really a fascinating experience to see what music does to people and how it brings them back to some of their memories.
Absolutely.
So I want to read a poem for you, a kind of a story poem, because another thing about Utah, I just thought it would be really good to connect this with Utah, because Utah loved baseball, and he could be found at the Pioneer Park ballpark, rooting on his beloved Indians. He was from Cleveland, so he latched onto the Indians, and you could go and sit with Utah and watch a baseball game, and the man was knowledgeable about everything. In fact, I think it was Maggie McKay that said, I'm not sure, but I think that this is attributed to her, where she said, before Google, there was Utah.
Love it.
Yeah. Is that Stephen?
It is.
It's Stephen.
It is.
Hey, bro.
Hey, my beautiful friend. How are
Oh my God, this is so good. This is so good. I've got all these people from Florida and family and Panama, and that's just all wow. Anyway, here's a little. I played baseball for a large part of my life, so baseball's in my blood too. So this poem is called "Stealing Second."
Lovely.
I stand upright, arms folded, left foot on first base. I'm taking it all in. The green grass, the blue sky, the blackbirds flying overhead. The pitcher up there on his little hill. He fidgets, he paces, he jostles the rosin bag. This guy's got nothing on me and he knows it. He looks around, he toes the mound, he's stalling, he fidgets. Is it a tactic? Is it his nerves? I dance off the bag, hands parallel to the ground, pointing in both directions, feet shuffling rightward just far enough. A tease, a threat, yet close enough to simply step back. Now, that guy behind the plate, he's no rag arm. He's got a wicked throw to second. It's the pitcher I'll be stealing from. Just get the jump. Top toes, I'm buoyant, I'm bouncy, I'm light as air, I'm ready to fly. The crowd's watching and waiting. Will he? Won't he? They feel it coming. I'm crouching, I'm coiling. My toes scuttle to the right, then back. My toes scuttle to the right, then back again. Up on the mound, over his left shoulder, under the bill of his cap, out of the corner of his eye, he stares me down. Steps off the mound to force me back. I keep my lead off. I jut my chin. I return the glare, the stare, and the dare. He knows it. Everybody knows it. I'm going. It's just a matter of when. He keeps me in check. He fires off a pitch. Ball high and outside. The catcher leaps up for it, ready to fire off the second. I'm standing firm. He keeps me in check. He fires off another. Ball way outside, 2-0. My quiet taunts are effective. He's got me in check, but I've got him rattled. I take a bigger lead. He toes the mound. He heaves a deep breath, looks over his shoulder, a long stare down. I'm going. He knows it. Or does he? Do I? Yeah, this is it. Every cell in my body is ready. But only I know I'm gonna fly. A coiled spring holds me back from deep inside. I'm safe on top, but this time as I crouch away from the bag, I imperceptibly release it. Or so I thought. Whoosh! He fires off to first base. The ball beats me there, but my foot slides under him and under the tag. I'm safe. It was close. Whew. Not quite as imperceptible as I thought. It was a confidence check. So once again, he toes the mound. Once again, I toe towards second. The stare down, the step off, the stare down, the step off. Rinse, repeat, the long stare down. I detect his left shoulder inching forward, a minuscule movement, Almost invisibly, his weight shifts to his right foot. I know that move. He's committed to the pitch. One more split second. Go! I bolt. Before the pitcher releases the ball, I've released my cautions. I've got the jump. I'm free. I'm flying. All of my cells are laughing. Pure joy. I lengthen to a full gallop. If only we could run this fast in slow motion. I'm halfway to second. I'm a whole horsepower of universal energy. Wind, breath, movements of air swirl in unison. A roar rises from the stands. In full flight, I begin to anticipate my arrival. A slide, a dive, a photo finish arrival of runner and ball, the flailing tag, the umpire's call. What will be the culmination of this athletic thievery? The second baseman straddles the bag. He's waiting. His body's too loose, telegraphing defeat. I can take a little off it now and coast my way in. No tension, no slide, no tag, no drama at second base. It's a stand-up steal.
I'm going to let people know that we have a few people coming in for pickup food, taking out their meals tonight, and people are kind of stopping in on their way through to clap. So we still have an empty room here, but with the occasional happy passersby.
And I'm so happy for these passersby picking up food because the sound of one hand or two hands clapping. Anyway, yeah. That sounds like a whole stadium to me.
I know.
I'm awesome.
Me too. Wait till next time you sing a song.
Well, here's a story song for you. Another story song. This one was written by a friend of mine from Marin County, Christopher Smith. I love playing this song. Mary and Joe, they lived together. They didn't live as man and wife. They didn't care what people said, no. Just tried to quietly live their lives. When Joe would try to hog the covers, Mary did not scream or shout. She'd simply nudge him with her elbow. Joe, it's your turn to let the donkey out. Joe, it's your turn to let the donkey out. Now these two people loved each other a long, long time ago. Yet I yearn to hear the story of old friends, Mary and Joe. Those two old friends, Mary and Joe. One morning, Mary, she came to Joseph. She said, I'm going to be a mom. There's just one thing about the father. Heaven knows where he came from. So Mary had her little baby. Yeah, Mary had her little lamb. It didn't look a bit like Joseph, but Joe was happy as a clam. Yeah, Joe was a mighty happy man. 'Cause when two people love each other, they're gonna reap just what they sow. And when they sow the seeds of friendship, they'll live like Mary and Joe. They're gonna live like Mary and Joe. When Joseph held that little baby, he dearly loved him as his his own, and Mary owed no explanation, and Joseph drew no stone. Reverse, I'm sorry. But when Joe's heart would start to darken, he laid his feelings on the line. He'd sit and work it out with Mary. They took it one day at a time. 'Cause when two people love each other, there's still a long, tough road to hoe before they learn to tend their gardens like our friends Mary and Joe are two old friends, Mary and Joe. As luck would have it, the boy grew famous. You know, he turned out rather nice. They wrote a lot of books about him, chock full of worldly advice. But now these days I sit to wonder about the things I really need to know. I need a little less sweet Jesus, a lot more Mary and Joe. There's all this waiting on some savior who's gonna come back and run the show. Please keep your son in heaven, Lord, send us back Mary and Joe. Just send on back Mary and Joe. Hi, thanks for coming in, you guys. Woo! Nice to see you. And again, that song was written by Christopher Smith. He's a teacher in Louisiana.
I want to share with you the Nory song that you wrote. Charlie Price said, "Way to go, Nory, Utah would be proud." And Jack Cat says, "Nice hat." And Paul Pierce says, "You'll have to play his rehab next time you're that way again." his rehab center.
Yeah, okay.
Where Paul Pierce is.
All right.
So, yeah.
And Steven says, where's your tip jar?
And Ellen Reynard says hello.
Oh, hello, Ellen. So I had a little hand surgery back in the 70s when I was in the Army, and this hand gets a little bit messed up every now and then. It gets cramps, and that happens every now and then, so I have to kind of work through that and shake it out. And, that's why sometimes it doesn't work as well as I want it to. I carry my guitar where I'm going. It's just one of those settling things I do. I never see it coming. I don't know where or when. It's coming in pretty loud there. Sorry.
They can't hear you very well. So.
I carry some coins in my pocket. I've heard it said that money equals time. I never see it coming, I don't know where or when. I'll find a phone and love you on the line, on the line. All this living can get so complicated. I've heard it said that simple is the best. I never see it coming, I don't know where or when. You'll hold me in your arms where I can rest, where I can rest. Oh, my mama was a songbird, my daddy was a drum. I carried their tempo in my tune, like the sun breaking after a dark, raging storm. It feels like my carrying's just begun. We carry the dust of before us, all those years layered on this earth. We never see it coming, we don't know where or when. The day will come, we'll live for all it's worth, for all it's worth.
Just letting people know, we don't actually have a live audience here, though it may sound like it. We have a couple people passing through because we have takeout food here at Wild Eye Pub. So if you're interested in that, check it out. And otherwise, we're just so delighted to be broadcasting Nory on this live stream. So we've been putting posts up, but you can go to wildeyepub.com and you'll find Nory's virtual tip jar there. If you want to throw a few bucks in there, just ignore the guy on the stage there. But yeah, we're very much delighted to have him here with us. And as Nory said, he's played here a number of times. He always packs the house. Doesn't get to do that today, but he's sharing this with 46 of you or so right now. So that's awesome. And Nory, I wanted to tell you, your sister Linda Pierce says you sound amazing and she's loving listening to you. And Eleanor McDonald says, hey, and you're sounding sweet.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Linda. Thank you, Eleanor. Oh.
And I was adjusting the sound because I'm responding to people's comments. So I turned down that speaker back there. This one's talking right to our sound input because it's not coming from the board.
Yeah.
So
Something, it just started booming in my back.
Yeah, I turned that way down. Okay.
It's like, oh.
Yeah.
But I had to say something because it actually threw me off of that song.
Okay. Thanks.
Like,
Thanks for letting me know.
But it's, I'm having just the best time. And it's wonderful to have some real live clapping in the room, even though it's not that many people, but it's, you know, it's like quantum, anyway. Yeah, you got it. Thank you.
All right. You guys, when you're done picking up your to-go food, you'll have to take it out there. So, yeah.
You know, before I play this next song, I want to read you a poem. It was a Rilke poem that was translated by my teacher, my good friend from Berkeley, Joanne Macy. So this is one of Rilke's sonnets to Orpheus, part 2, number 14. See the flowers, so faithful to earth. We know their fate because we share it. Were they to grieve for their wilting, that grief would be ours to feel. There is a lightness in things. Only we move forever burdened, pressing ourselves onto everything, obsessed by weight. How strange and devouring our ways must seem to those for whom life is enough. If you could enter their dreaming and dream with them deeply, you would come back different to a different day, moving so easily from that common depth. Or maybe just stay there, and they would bloom and welcome you, all those brothers and sisters tossing in the meadow, and you would be one of them. Kind of felt a good song for these times that we're in. And so, speaking of flowers, this is a song I wrote a few years back. It's called Daffodils. Daffodils coming up early, poking their little heads up out of the ground. Don't they know it's only January? Any day now the snows will be coming down. Bluebirds back, red buds blooming, people in shorts out riding their bikes. A summer's day in the middle of January, we're praying for rain or snow or anything alike. Rivers got no flow, thirsty tributaries, lakes are looking low. We're looking to the skies. Rivers got no flow, thirsty tributaries, lakes are looking low. We're looking to the skies and holding hands, doing all kinds of dances. We're chanting, singing and praying with all our might. Such a wondrous sight to see, though
Jim says, please tell us about that instrument. Jim Fussell, that is.
This is an Irish bouzouki. It's basically a large octave mandolin, an octave mandolin with an extra long neck. So yeah, it's an Irish bouzouki. I could say more about it, but yeah, that's what it is. And it's fun to play because it's, for me, after all these years with it, this is kind of like driving a little sports car. So.
Madeline Aboud says, enjoying your music and poetry, always so soothing and beautiful, a wonderful stress reliever at this time when we need it. I'm one of your admirers from BTVE, Florida. Thank you, Nory.
Thank you. Hey, John. Thank you, Madeline. I'm just so happy you're there.
And Michael Malden says, Susan Smith says, great to see you.
Okay.
And Bev Paul, one of my favorite songs. Thank you. And Michael Malden wants a poem, a copy of that.
Okay.
And Paul Cam says, hey, thanks for playing. And Angela says, Angela Pierce, I think Linda, says, chicken, Uncle Nory, chicken song, please.
Well, sorry, Ange. I haven't played chickens in a while because it's one of those songs where the chords are really difficult for this changing hand to play those chords, and I'm still trying to find another progression that would work for that song. I love that song. It's a fun song, but I'm not going to play it tonight. Sorry.
And last couple of them, San said that was a cool song, Nory, and lovely musicianship. And Denise Medeiros, greetings from Boynton Beach. And Susan Loring Wells, greetings from Massachusetts, listening with Linda Lou and Michael in Calistoga. And Jason Muller says, hi Nory, greetings from Vegas.
Jason.
Yeah. Yay.
Hello, and just a huge, heartful embrace to all of you out there that are just letting me know you're there, because it's so meaningful. And you know, again, usually when I'm playing in this room, there's just lots of people and a lot of stuff going on, and I love all you guys that are here. I really do. Okay, you know, another thing I wanted to say about that Daffodil song, it's just one of those sights for me. You know, we all have our favorite sights in nature and smells, you know, like the smell after that first rain, after a long dusty summer, and the rain comes down, and you just can take that in. Well, when I see daffodils in the snow, another one that really, it's like the smell of a little baby's, the fuzzy, the tuft of hair on the baby's head. It's really, you know, or the sight of a great blue heron in flight. You know, there's some things that just take your breath away. Well, daffodils in the snow is one of them for me. I want to play a song now that I don't play lightly. There's three people that contributed heavily to this song. One is Arundhati Roy, the Indian poet, author, activist, who famously said, and I'm paraphrasing because I can't remember the quote exactly, but something to the effect of, a new world is not far off. On a quiet day, you can hear her breathing. And Utah Phillips, who, again, told us that the men who are destroying Earth all have names and addresses. So think about that. And Howard Zinn, who told us that they have all the guns, but we have the poets and the artists. And that said, and I want to apologize to my Martin guitar for having her fall off the stand. Sounds like no damage was done. I don't think I've ever done that. Thank God. Okay. It's called The Master's House. standing in the shadow of a building coming down. One tends to move a little faster, sleeping in the shadows, huddled on the cold ground. You're dreaming of the houses of the master. Oh, the tools that built those mansions in the past, corroding under open skies. Patriarchy, capital and class, the politics of pepper spray and lies. The empires fade in disguise. But on a clear day, you can hear her breathing. A new world, oh so near. If you listen, you will hear her whispering. You are part of me. You are all part of me. The men who hoard the treasures of this land, they all have names and addresses. Confrontation, drop those stones from your hands, 'cause how that ends, you don't need many guesses. All they're banking on your violence and aggression. But on a clear day, you can hear her breathing. A new world, oh so near. If you listen, you will hear her whispering. You are part of me. You are all part of me. Oh, they say the world changed that day. I know it did for me. Like it changed that dark November day back in 1963, when my young eyes first saw, and I cried out my doubt about men and power and how they work things out. Well, they'll bring down a man, they'll bring down a tower, they'll bring down our whole world in their lust for power, and they've got the guns, they've crossed their Rubicon. But we are the poets and the artists and the dreamers, and we'll meet them there. Year after year after year after year after year after year after year, endlessly like waves from the ocean. And on that clear day, you will hear us rising, and if you listen, you will hear us rising, laughing, learning, singing, dancing, growing, feeding, tending, caring, learning, teaching, laughing, daring. Together now, all together now, all together now. This world we're building has no rooms for masters. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, you know, I wanted to say something there about, the day that changed everything. There's been quite a few of those, hasn't there? The day that changed everything. And now it's like these are the times, I think, and I hope, that change everything, because a lot of things are broken. A lot of things were broken before we got to this coronavirus thing. The economy was already broken, you know. Earth has been calling to us. You're watching it happen, you're doing nothing about it. Oh, you hear it, you feel it, you're doing nothing about it. How can you keep on keeping on, doing nothing about it? You turn on the TV, you sit yourself down. All the news from your planet, from your bank and your town. Enough to make you want to jump up and shout, but you just sat down. Oil in the water, unforgivable. Oil in the air, unforgivable. There's oil in your veins, along the food chain. We're changing the world in ways unforgivable. Oh, unforgivable. Everything's changing, but your days are the same. You know it's a fix, but you keep playing the game. It keeps getting stranger, maybe you're not to blame, but you better do something, quit acting so tame. Of plastic floating out in the seas, disappearing mountains, we got disappearing bees. Wars against people with so little to eat, wars against people out marching for peace. Your grandchildren's grandchildren won't forgive you now. They'd like to see blue sky and birds. The salmon and the forest won't forgive you now. Life wants to live. Haven't you heard? You're called to be a better ancestor, an active but a festive resistor. Get up, get wild, do something about it. Do something about it. Quit acting so tame. Do something about it. Quit acting so tame. Do something about it.
Let people know we do have people passing through here because we are open for takeout only. So we've been so grateful to have various musicians tonight. Nory doing our brand new live cast series, which we never knew we would be doing, but here we are.
It's so amazing.
Old Dog's New Tricks, people.
Yeah, so, it's just incredible, Beth,
yeah.
what you're doing here. And, you know, to have Paul and Eleanor, and to see, you know, Charlie Price and Steve Holland, all these local musicians that are just stellar. Come in here and play. It's really a wonderful thing to have, not only for them to play, but to offer to the community and to the community at large out there. You know?
And we've actually seen most people have more tips this way than they would in person, and I think it's because people are at home, they can pull their credit card out and comfortably do whatever, whereas if they're here, they're kind of digging for, you know, a few bucks or whatever. We hope when all this is done to incorporate our to incorporate our live and our virtual audiences. So
Nice.
yeah.
It'd be a really cool thing to keep doing this.
Yeah. Can I share some people's?
Yeah, and I just want to say it's really, I'm grateful that there's so many people coming through here and picking up their takeout orders and moving on. It just seems like there's this constant, steady room of people, and it's not. It's just, it keeps changing. So thank you for supporting the Wildlife Pub and coming to get your tonight's calamari night. Come on down and get some calamari.
That's right. We have loud hands. Yes. Let's see. Ida Beechner, old Corindu neighbor, says you are giving a ray of sunshine in these times. And Bev Paul reminds you your other sister is tuned in from Tucson, Arizona, and so is Jason's mom. And she said thanks for this. Michael Winters, mirando y sonando bien, amigo mío.
Hey, Michael.
There you go.
Michael's an old Army buddy. We went down one day and we both bought BSA 650 motorcycles on the same day, and we rode around Germany and France together. That's Michael. Hey, Michael.
So cool. Mary Beth Paul, you sound great and so glad to hear you. Marge Brigadier, love your music. Great to see you. Ann Devecha says hello and loving the music. And Linda Pierce says her friend Savannah's finally with her listening. She's wanted to hear you for a long time. Enjoying it. Linda Woodruff, your music brings me to another time and place. It's so beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. Wow. So great to be doing this. How are we doing on time?
We are at 6:09.
6:09. You know what? That last song, Unforgivable, a call to action and to do something in the world and to make the world a better place. And I had invited a couple of friends up here to talk a little bit about what they're doing in the world. And one of them couldn't quite make it tonight. But my dear friend Joanne's here. And if she wants to come up now and tell you a little bit about her Sierra Streams Instiute. All right? So I'm going to take a little break and I'll be back.
Thank you. Empty room. All right. Hey, Joanne.
Hi, Beth.
Hey, I'm going to close you up a little bit.
I'm the intermission, I guess.
You are. I'm going to embiggen you.
Let Nory have a break.
There you go.
Well, thank you, Beth and Nory, for asking me to come and talk a little bit about Sierra Streams Instiute. It's just going to be a little short intro to what we do. We are a scientifically based environmental organization, nonprofit, here in Nevada City. And we've been around for over 20 years now. We have been working with all sorts of partners over that time, from government agencies to state and local agencies and landowners and educators, all sorts of partners to make sure that our environment and our health is improved and better. So I was lucky enough to be the first staff member over 20 years ago, and as the biologist and director all this time. So I'm really excited to talk to you a little bit about what we do. We use the science to understand and then improve the health of this region, so the northern Sierra watersheds. And we do it a little bit in a unique way in that we invite as many people as possible to come get trained and to help us with the science and to be involved in what we do. So we call them citizen scientists. And we are just so thrilled when we have our community to come and take data, monitor the streams, do some of our restoration work with us, help educate others. And that's really the core of what we do. We are scientists, and we have about 12 scientists on staff, but we really need these citizen scientists to achieve all that we do. Just a few projects that we're working on right now. We have a 4-year grant from the National Science Foundation right now that we're working on to develop curriculum for our students, possibly for all of our students in our county, possibly a wider range in the country, for them to be citizen scientists, for the students to go out and actually be scientists, take real data, understand the data, present the data to land managers, and really feel more comfortable, hopefully, with how to use science in the world. And UC Davis is doing a study to see whether it is a successful model to be used in the country. So it's a very exciting project for us. We also do lots of restoration, and right now we're restoring lots of forest areas to be better managed. So we are helping them to be healthier and also be more fire resilient, because that's one of the problems we have here. Another project working on cleaning up mining contaminants from our legacy gold mining. And so we clean those up so that there can be more parks and trails and places that can be used by our community. And we also do research, and related to what I just told you about the contaminants, we're doing a study, we're doing a few studies right now, looking at whether those heavy metal contaminants are affecting our community's health. And we have a high breast cancer rate here, and we're trying to see whether these contaminants are really affecting how healthy we are here. We're partnering with UCSF epidemiologists to come up with the answers to those questions, and whether there's those contaminants in our soil, in the water, in the vegetables that we grow. So that's a pretty exciting research project right now. So we're doing a lot. The COVID-19 time is a little bit of a struggle, but we're hanging in there, and we're able to do some work. We can't work as much with our community because we have to stay apart, but as soon as things get back to us being able to work with you, please look us up on Sierra Streams Institute.org and come join us to help the earth. Thank you.
Thank you. Wait, let me get you a different mic. You can step up there, just don't talk on the mic yet.
Oh, that's right. Oh. Well, you know, we're three of us are in
We're okay.
Okay, all right. You three have been hanging together? Okay, then we're gonna let it go.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hi everyone out there. I'm Lorraine Wright with the Peace and Justice Center of Nevada County. I want to first thank Nory to invite me to come up and give you a very important announcement. So I know that many of you are feeling like many of us, and these are very difficult times to say the least. And you know, we're very lucky here in Nevada County that we've had virtually no COVID crises. However, that's because we're staying at home and making safe distancing and all of that. But the Peace Center is calling upon you to come out tomorrow on May Day, May 1st, that's Friday, to stand in solidarity with the millions of Americans across our land who have lost their jobs, who've lost their health care, who are being forced to work in toxic, contaminated environments. We the people are standing in solidarity against this government that wants to help bail out our airline industries and candy manufacturers instead of we the people. I mean, I don't know how you feel, but to me, $1,200 for an adult was more of a slap in the face than anything else. I mean, the government has given billions to big business. So come out tomorrow. We're going to be doing a car protest at noon in Brunswick, starting with at the B of A parking lot, 12 noon. We'll please decorate your cars with signs that express your sentiments about these matters. And remember safe distancing, wear your masks. We will do a car protest around the Brunswick Basin, and there will be some who will follow up with an on-the-street protest with safe distancing and masks, so we don't make the problem worse. But come out and stand in solidarity with your fellow Americans. Thank you. You can read more about it at the Peace and Justice Center of Nevada County on Facebook or our email. Thank you.
And for people who are watching this in the future as a recording, tomorrow means April 30th.
No, May 1.
Oh.
It's May Day, May 1.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, tomorrow, May Day, May 1. Sorry. Tomorrow means May Day, May 1, 2020. Thank you.
Thank you, Lorraine. And thank you, Joanne. And you know what I want to say again is the work that Joanne's doing is what helps us to have this, the Yuba River and Deer Creek and all the wonderful natural beauty that we have here in our community. Okay, I'm back. What am I back with?
Paul says, Nory, any chance you'd enjoy playing If the Trees Were the People? You introduced me to this special song decades ago, and I've been sharing it ever since at open mics. That's Paul Cienfuegos.
Oh, Paul. My singing buddy just left, and it's tough to pull that one off solo because it's an a cappella thing. It was written by Alan Atkinson, who's an activist also. It's a beautiful piece, but I'm sorry, Paul. It's just not. I'm not prepared to do that. But I am prepared to do this one. I love playing this song. It comes to us from back 1936 or something like that. Back when composers wrote separately. Somebody would write the lyrics, and then a pianist, most often a pianist, would compose the music, and then they put the two together and they come up with fabulous songs like this. But it always makes me think of great lyrics and great lyricists. And then I have to also think that, well, and you know, in our time, we have great lyricists too. And I've been trying to compile some of my favorite lyrics, such as George Harrison's great line about how something in her smile that shows that I don't need no other lover. Or Paul Simon's great lyric, I get all the news I need from the weather report. Or Tom Waits, another great lyricist, the face forgives the mirror, the worm forgives the plow. You know, something about great lyrics. I'm a word guy, I guess. The nearness of you. It's not the pale moon that delights me, that thrills or excites me. Oh no, it's just the nearness of you. It is in your sweet conversation that brings this sensation. Oh no, it's just the nearness of you. When you're in my arms, so close to me. All of my wildest dreams come true. I need no soft lights to enchant me. If you'll only grant me the right to hold you ever so tight. When you're in my arms, I feel you so close to me. All of my wildest dreams come true. I need no soft lights to enchant me. If you'll only grant me the right to hold you ever so tight, and to feel in the night the nearness of you. Thank you.
Stephen Greenberg says, wonderful show, Nory. Nice to have you back in our living room, and thanks. And Sands Hall says, lovely tune, of course, nearness of you, and you bring beautiful stuff to it, yes. And Elena says, loving it. Thanks, Beth and Wild Eye. Hey, Nory, love you all so much. Saul and Elena.
Oh, thank you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, so glad you're all here. So glad you're all here. Wow. I'm touched. Hi, Flannery. Hi, Keaton.
People you're sheltering with?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
All right. It's like we have to have a guard at the door to say, okay, who are you hunkered down with?
Okay, well. You never know what's coming. You don't know what you'll find. You might be going nowhere. You might change your mind. You don't know what's coming. You never know what you'll find. You might be going nowhere, and you might change your mind. One day you'll be broken in pieces on the floor, wounded, snarling, cursing God, you can't take it anymore. You're wandering through the desert, alone and in despair. All your money's dried up, you don't seem to care. You never know what's coming, you don't know what you'll find. You might be going nowhere, and then you might change your mind. One day's inspiration, you're no longer stupefied. Clarity, direction come, confusion's left behind. Your muse and motivation, lifting up your wings. Now you're kissing eyelids, whoo, now you can finally sing. You never know what's coming, you don't know what you find. You might be going nowhere and you might change your mind. One day, a misty morning, a heron by the creek, standing there so patiently, its tenderness he seeks. Oh, the next day's misty morning, two herons by the creek, they're standing there so patiently, they found what they seek. It's tenderness they seek, it's tenderness they seek. Thank you.
Paul Camp says, beautiful, my friend, and thanks for the speakers and social awareness. And several people said hello to Joanne, too.
Great. Yeah, I'm really happy. Joanne and Lorraine both got up here and spread the good word. There's a lot of, this is a time for all of us to just jump up and use our voices and speak out and stand up for Mother Earth.
Virginia Zornes says, hi, Nory, fellow Zonian, love, thanks.
All right, cool. Say that name again?
Virginia Zornes.
Okay. Hey, Virginia.
I might be saying it wrong.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Good, okay, good. I hate hatcheting people's names, but you know.
Yeah. So, I started off with a song about work, and I'm going to do another work song. This is another one of my kind of like autobiographical work songs. If you can't tell, I'm kind of a minimalist. I'm working when the work comes. I'm working when it don't. And what I do ain't always for pay. I'm playing when I want to, playing fingers to the bone. Sometimes I'm making gold and silver. I'm sorry, I gotta tune this thing. I hope it hasn't been like this since I dropped it, but.
Ginger Wirtz.
Oh, Ginger Wirtz.
Okay, good. That worked.
We're talking Kurundu.
Yes.
Yeah.
There we go. From Kurundu Heights. CC.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
We're talking Kurundu.
She said, try this name. Yeah.
Well, listen, all you Kurundu folks, I want to tell you, I've written a book, and a lot of Kurundu stories are in it. It's kind of a memoir. A few years back, about 10 years ago, my father, he was 94 and he still had all his marbles, and some of you from Kurundu and from the zone would remember this man. But he still had all of his marbles and he was 94 years old, and he asked me if I could help him die. And so we went on a journey of voluntarily stopping eating and drinking. And for the last 2 weeks of his life, he had a party. He had more energy than a teenager, and it was incredible. But he had the courage and the vision. he was done. He just felt done. There was nothing illegal about it, nothing immoral about it. He took matters into his own hand, and we coached him and helped him through it. So I wanted to write that story, and then I realized that I could not write that story without writing the story about his and my lifelong contentious relationship and how we managed to patch that up. And I couldn't tell that story without going back to Panama and talking about my bicultural growing up. My mother's Panamanian and my father's from Michigan. And we lived in the Canal Zone, which was in a U.S. military, one huge military. It was U.S. socialism, to be honest with you. I mean, you want to talk about socialism that worked. Every house, every job, everything in the Canal Zone belonged to the U.S. government. So, anyway, that said, I wrote a book, and if you want to know more about it, get a hold of me. I'm going to try this song again. I'm working when the work comes. I'm a-working when it don't. And what I do ain't always for pay. I'm playing when I want to, playing fingers to the bone. Sometimes I'm making gold and silver. Oh, people all talking about their jobs and how they spend their days. Commuting, and fretting about their 401ks. In this great land of ours, you got another choice. You can hang your shingle, take your place among the self-employed. Well, I'm the boss, I'm the labor, I do publicity. Janitorial, the payroll, what needs doing, I call me. I'm my own benefit, retirement, not one thin dime. Paid holidays, vacations, not me. I'm working all the time. See these guitar strings, my harmonica, and its holder. See the strap that holds my Martin hanging comfortably across my shoulder. That pick and shovel, yoga roll, massage oil, and Panama hat. Oh, they're all tax deductions. I work with all of that. I'm working at the river, laying sunning on the rocks. I'm working when I'm chatting at the local coffee shop. I'm questionably employed as I stare into the void and ponder what lies ahead tomorrow. I'm working when the work comes, and I'm working when it don't. And what I do ain't always for pay. I'm playing when I want to, playing fingers to the bone. Sometimes I'm making gold and silver. Yes, sometimes I'm just making hay, making hay. Yeah,
Sorry, go ahead.
it's my work song.
That's a great song. Deb Kiva says that you're a beautiful writer, but Jim Fussell says, what is that book title?
The book title.
Yeah.
The book is titled Life's Rebellion, A Beautiful Death.
Okay. There we go. And Fred Fussell says, thanks for sharing your music, cousin.
Fred.
Yeah. Yeah. So many Fussels out there. Who knew?
There's a lot of them. All up and down the East Coast. There's fossils everywhere. There's quite a few of them around this way, too. So, I think I better make sure this Irish bouzouki is tuned as well. How y'all doing? Out there. How are y'all doing? So I'm going to play a song now that was written in the 50s by, never remember this name. Not Nory. Not that one. Albert Frank Beddoe. He wrote the song for a play. Go Lightly, Stranger was the name of the play. And I like to play this song because it's about moonshining. And in our community, there is the modern day type of moonshiner that grows green things that you probably use medicinally these days with CBD products. And I heard this song and I just thought, this is I used to do back in when it was all clandestine, I used to do this and just kind of reminded me of that energy of sneaking through the manzanita with buckets of water. I'm incriminating myself, I know, but it's legal now, so you can't. It's a fiction, I'm just telling you a story. This is a song, and Bob Dylan put this song on his biographical album. Anyway, it's called Copper Kettle. Get you a copper kettle. Get you a copper coil. Fill it with new made corn mash, and nevermore you'll toil. You just lay there by the juniper when the moon is bright. Watch your jugs filling up in the pale moonlight. Or build you a fire with hickory, ash, and oak. Don't you burn no green or rotten wood that'll get you by the snow. You just lay there by the juniper when the moon is bright. Watch your jugs, filling up in the pale moonlight. lay there by the juniper when the moon is bright, watching jugs filling up in the pale moonlight, in the pale moonlight, in the pale moonlight, in the pale Thank you. Thank you.
Jean Burson says love, sends love.
Hey, Jean.
Karen Stahl says, made it. Nice to listen to you. And Paul once again says he grew up on Copper Kettle with Joan Baez, with an album his parents played often. Yeah.
Sweet. So how are we doing on time?
You're at 6:45. Your sister Linda wants to request little acts of kindness, please. Perhaps for next time.
I have to change a few things here. While I have this bouzouki on, I'm going to go ahead and play this. Yeah, okay. Little Acts of Kindness. I've played that song, usually the last song of most of my gigs, because it's just a wonderful thing to send people home. Wasn't planning on playing it tonight, but my dear sister Linda. Okay. But since I have this bouzouki on, I'm going to go ahead and stay with it and play you this song I wrote. It's called Such Men. It's kind of I wrote it back when we invaded Iraq, and Donald Rumsfeld and Dick Cheney and all those guys were in charge of things, and so it's got a couple of references in it towards the end. Patrick Tillman and Jessica Lynch, you may not remember those names, but this is when that song was written, and I still feel the same exact way about it today. War, what it ain't good for. My name is Arlen Haggerty. I come from County Clare. Was a time of poverty, hardship, and despair. We sailed off for America, my brother and a pair, for the good life over there. We were young, little did we know about the ways of men. We were young, and it's the same today as it has ever been. We gathered in the lobby of a hotel at the port, where they plied us with their whiskey and they stole us to their fort. We woke up dressed in uniforms, rifles in our hands. Soon we were marching to the band. We were young, little did we know about the ways of such men. We were young, and it's the same today as it has ever been. With Gatling guns and bayonets, choppers and Humvees, war serves the politicians and the lords of industry. Ravenous, relentless, such men of greed and lust, their war machine is pulverizing our world into dust. fields of battle, generation after next. Glory and patriotism cloud young intellects. Like those who went before you, lads, you make a hero's choice. And your country will rejoice. We were young. Little did we know about the lies of such men. Ah, we were young. And it's the same today as it has ever been. My name is Jesse Lynch. The stories told about us are bound to make you flinch. My name is Arlen Haggerty, and there's my brother Pete. We've come back to tell you now, war is obsolete.
Fred Garcia says, hola.
Hola, Fred.
And Sans liked your correlation to local moonshine.
Thank you. Maybe what, 2 more songs?
Yeah,
3?
about 6:51, well, yeah, 2 or 3.
All right. All right. Oh, my goodness.
I like that, whatever that body language was. I was
What do I want to leave out? You know?
yeah.
All right. I'll play this one and see how it feels after that. Oh, God. All right. I'm just going to... So, again, sometimes the hand works, sometimes it doesn't. I'm going to finger pick this one. This is a song I wrote years ago. I love this song. And I think most people who hear it love it too. It's called Laughing Angels. Oh, back there in my boyhood days, I used to sing and dance and play, pretending I was Elvis Presley. I didn't have a fine guitar, a fancy babe, or a flashy car. Hell, I was only 9. My biggest kick was a cup of Nestle. Yeah. I did rhyme that. I believe that when I die, all the angels in the sky will join in a chorus of laughter. People say, but I don't know that it's true. You are me and I am you, but I believe it's the same things we're all after. A home base and a hearty meal, friends, family, and sex appeal, and rivers and tides we can rejoice in. A warm bed and food for all, and children laughing in the hall, and love. Ooh, more love. When I reach that heaven land, I'm gonna play in Presley's hips and shaking thighs and rocking hallelujahs till forever. It'll be a sight to see Elvis trying to dance like me and laughing angels all together. Yeah, laughing angels all together. Oh, laughing angels of a feather. Ooh. I believe that when we go, those we leave, be they friend or foe, will pause to take our measure. Each life will yield some treasure as we're dancing through this world together. Yeah, laughing in this life together. Oh, laughing angels of a feather. Ooh.
Sequoia Fussell says, "Great job, Dad. Your music is beautiful."
Thanks, Sequoia.
She's been on the stage, huh?
Hmm?
She's been on the stage, right? Is that Sequoia? Who's been
Sequoia is my son. He
on? Oh,
lives up
son.
in,
I'm so
yeah.
sorry. Who's
Yeah.
your daughter?
My daughter is Sage.
Sage, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Sage has been on the stage.
Yeah, Sage has been on the stage.
Sorry.
And
Confused by-
and Chad lives down in Auburn, and Sequoia's up in South Lake Tahoe, and Sage is in Colfax, and they've all stayed close by. It's thrilling to me.
That way, when we get past peak oil and you can only travel by donkey, you can still get to see them. That's what I told my children. You have to be donkey distance.
Yeah, donkey distance. I
That's
like
right,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Jean Burson says, "You bring the fire of a resilient heart," and Joanne and Lorraine both fired him up also.
Oh,
That's what you get for playing for poets.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Poets, Jean Berson. So, one or two more?
Let's see, where are we at? Where are we at? You can do one or two more, whatever you like.
All right. This is not my song, but I have to play it because I love it. Way back when, in the beginning of time, man made the fire, made the wheel. He went from horse to the automobile. He said the world is mine. He took the oceans and the sky. He built the walls. He won't stop till he owns it all. And here we are, standing on the brink of disaster. Enough is enough is enough is enough. I know the answer. Put a woman in charge. Put a woman in charge. Put a woman in charge, yeah. Put a woman in charge. Time has come. We've got to turn this world around. Call on the mothers. Call on the daughters. We need the sisters of mercy now. She'll be a hero, not a fool. She's got the power to change the rules. She's got everything men don't have. She's kind and she understands. So let the lady charge. Oh, hallelujah. It's gonna be fantastic when the girls take over. We're gonna feel the magic. Put a woman in charge. Put a woman in charge. Yeah, put a woman in charge. Ooh. Put a woman in charge. Come on, you know it's time to put a woman in charge. Everybody can do it. We can put a woman in charge. Oh, you know it's the right thing. Put a woman in charge. We won't have such men running the show anymore. Put a woman in charge. Yeah. Put a woman in charge.
Yeah.
It's those little acts of kindness that help to melt down the mean armor. It's those tender, loving moments that we're really all living for. We tangle in our connection, struggling to survive. It's the closeness and affection that lets us know we're fully alive. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Sunday dawn trips to the marketplace. Neither a rich man nor poor, he'd buy loaves of bread and roses and leave them hanging around the neighborhood doors. Down at the park, people gather. She puts up a big pot of stew. Stains on her apron, she's limping, she's aching, but she's there every Thursday at 2. If you and I can agree to do our share of work in the world, if you and I can agree not to hurt anybody, if you and I can agree to care for the afflicted, if you and I can agree to take only what we need and put back what you can, give back what you can, give back. We give and we receive. Kindness is for free. You can take or you can leave. It all comes around. We hunger and we bleed, and it comes at us full speed. At the end of the day, in the final hour, it's still that tenderness we need. It's those little acts of kindness that help to melt down the mean armor. It's those tender, loving moments that we're really all living for. Thank you so much for being with me. Hello to all of you out there. I love you so much. Thanks for calling in. It was fun.
A last word from Michael Winters. He said, loves seeing that 50-year-old guitar. It looks and sounds fantastic. Fits you like a glove. Glad you two are growing old together.
Thank you, Michael. Yeah,
Yeah. And yeah.
yeah, that's my one guitar.
Yep.
All right, I guess that's it, huh?
That's it.
Whoopee! Yay, thank you so much.
If anybody wants to make a final pitch for the tip jar, you can go to Wild Eye Pub and throw in anything from $1 to 20 or whatever you like. And Nory can see this whole video later and see all your comments on the side of it. So thanks everybody for participating.
And if you're interested in my book, let me know. All right.
And Fred, there's a menu on Wild Eye Pub's Facebook page. Sorry I couldn't get to it while we were doing this, but yeah. All right. Thank you.
Bye.